I'd be fascinated to get your take on
Yeah.
Vince McMahon as someone who obviously worked with him and under him for a long time. I mean, his name obviously isn't mentioned on WWE programming anymore, but his fingerprints remain all over the product and likely always will. I can't imagine a series like this being greenlit under Vince McMahon
Yeah.
because I feel like this would be a step too far into
Yeah.
the inner working. So I'd be really interested to know like what it was like. Well, A, do you agree with that? And B, what was it like for you to work, for Vince McMahon?
Yeah, well, I'll answer that. That first question is I think it would have been a bridge too far for Vince to do that. To me, that was and the proof in that too is that when they were booking all that, it was a very closed circle. It was basically it was Vince, Pat Patterson, and Bruce Pritchard
Mm.
who had the booking, the books and worked those storylines and all that. And although he greenlit the behind the scenes stuff where there were these development shows that they had. But I think that this one would have been too much. But who knows? I mean, I know that near the end there that people on the inside were saying, they just Vince was kind of impossible to work with because he just was still had his fingers on everything. That never changed with Vince. He was everything. I'm not kidding. From down to the outfits the guys wore to, I mean, there wasn't a detail that he would overlook. I would hear things about that the cranberry tie went better with the blue blazer. Just like what? Okay. That was always the way it was with him. And I'm transitioning into what it was like working for him is that, yeah, he was everywhere. I don't know. I don't remember there ever being a pay-per-view or a Saturday night's main event where he was not in the room for those interviews when we were doing them. Every one of them. It wasn't like he would just say, "Okay, you know what we're doing, just go do it." It was he had to see it, and I think it got worse because when I was there, he wasn't wearing the headset necessarily and talking directly to the announcers. He would be in the,
Right.
maybe the gorilla position and listening in, but not directly talking to these people. Like I can't even imagine what that meant would have been like. I could just imagine being in the interview room and him barking at me about, I can't believe you said that or something. I would have been throwing off the whole rest of the day. And I don't know how they did it while they were doing live commentary. Um, but I've said that, it was kind of a love-hate relationship with me because he did a lot of great things for me, that first of all, allowing me even to be a part of that company. And I've talked about it before, I wouldn't have hired me. I don't know. And initially when I was first there, I probably would have yanked me. And he just stood by me. And I tell the story when the time I was trying to, I was early on and we had a pay-per-view coming up and they wanted me to go a quick cut a quick promo on the steel cage. And I couldn't get it. And Kerwin said in my ear, Vince is coming down. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to come down to ream me. And he did. He goes, "We're gonna make this real simple, pal. Just do this, this, and this, and then throw it back." And there were really great times where he would come over to the studio sometime, take me in the green room, and tell me, love what you're doing. You're helping us out, and like the stuff you're doing with giving the guys the names and stuff like that. But remember what we're doing here. So, and it was a time in Stanford where we all lived, where it was, we were all together, and it wasn't unusual at all to be out on a date. I wasn't married at the time, and I'd be on a date, and I'd run into him and Linda at the movie theater. He was part of that community and could get out and do things.
Mm.
So it was a really wonderful time for us. And when you had a party, it was a small enough group where everybody went. That's how it was. And that would be everybody from whatever talent was in town doing something, to Alfred and I who lived there, and Gorilla who was in for the weekend, and Gene, and then all of the crew. The crew members would come that worked at Stanford, and it was just and sales. Everybody, promotion people. And you look at it today, Mike. Thousands of people. It wasn't. So it was
like it was like a family, I guess, wasn't it?
It really was. It was
family,
a magical time, and Bruce has talked about it too. Bruce Pritchard, who was lived there then too. So I pine for those times that were really wonderful times, but I also understand that it couldn't be that way. It would have never become the successful company that it has and continues to be.
No, but what I wouldn't give for a time machine to transport myself back now to a night on the town with you, Mean Gene, Alfred, and Gorilla Monsoon. That would be a spectacle.
Yeah, and Andre.
I'm not going to try and keep up drinking with Andre.
Hotel, no, that was you didn't do that, and I was smart enough to know better. Some weren't, Ben. Some weren't.
Absolutely.